Pretty cool, bro.
If you had to tell us, Tony, like I know we all have that one thing, or sometimes it's like four or five things, but if you had to think about through all the shows and all the years, the biggest stuff to the smallest ones, like the little free Delta shows at the juke joints, all the stuff, if you took in all of them, there's like that one memory that always stands out. It was like either something cool about connecting with people, or just a magic moment, one night, one day, one moment in a show somewhere, or with the crowd somewhere. What would be that memory for you that always has stayed up at the forefront when you think about your career in music?
When BB King did a record called The Blues Summit, and he had all of those artists come that came in the studio in Memphis at Ardent Studios to record with us. And I mean, it was all of these artists, Etta James. You can look it up, the record Buddy Guy, everybody. Coco Taylor, Miss Taylor, and Miss Ruth Brown, and all of that. And these musicians are coming in to work with BB and Lowell Folsom and all of that. And every single last one of them was nervous except Albert Collins, Miss Ruth Brown. Everybody else was nervous, kind of couldn't believe they're going to record with BB. Buddy Guy was so nervous, he changed the field on I Pity the Fool, the timing. He was off time, and listen to it. It goes, doom, doom, bam, bam, da, 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 doom, doom. Dun, dun. He was behind the beat. Dun, 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 dun. He got off track. And they kept it because he just couldn't seem to get on track. But Albert Collins, the moment Albert Collins came in, that I say is the most amazing thing I ever saw. Albert Collins and BB recorded the best guitar playing, dueling guitar off of each other that never got recorded. Amazing. I got goosebumps thinking about it. Thinking about it right now, I got goosebumps. So when Albert Collins walked in the door of the studio, he had his guitar bag. You zip his leather bag. You zip it up, and you ever see Superman get out of his ordinary clothes and get the Superman suit on while he's still getting ready to fly? Albert walked in the studio, unzipping his bag. Hey man, I've been waiting to do this. What y'all want me to plug in, B? I'm a boy. BB. We finally get a chance to do it. Yeah, man. Yeah, boy. Yeah, BB. All right. Well, we got an amp. Just plug in what you want, son. Okay. Just let's sit over here and let's do what we don't even know what they're gonna play. Nothing. He's ready. Plug in his amp. Put his cape on his guitar. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, that's good. What we gonna do? Albert, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, Albert? Well, can we do a shuffle? Everybody want to do a shuffle with BB. Yeah, we can jam a shuffle. Where you want it? Well, you got these guys here, boy. They can play anything. Can we get it up? Kind of up? Sure. Like right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah. All right, fellas, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like he was obsessed, man. And BB, it was like, oh man, back and forth. I only see Albert King is the only person I see make BB play like that. Albert Collins and him was that. Man, it was like, whoa, we sweating. I'm sweating now thinking about it. Then Albert Collins did his Albert Collins ending on it. We go. It's the ending that never ends. And it's like, man, woo. It's, my goodness, son. Boy, BB, you was playing BB. No, it was you. You were the one. No, man. Man, that was good, man. BB said, yeah, all right. I'm glad we did it. Let's hear what we got. Listen to that. The engineer said, Did y'all want me to record that?
Oh my goodness, it was not cut.
Now
They
see how
never,
you feel right there? I feel it right there. I'm mad right now.
man, and that would have been something to have on tape, even if it was just like a goof, man. It was there.
I have never heard BB King or Albert Collins play like that in my lifetime working with those guys.
Did they ever try to get it on tape and do it
And
again?
wait, let me finish the story. Let me finish the story.
I.
And BB does not curse. BB said, "What? You mean you didn't record it? God, really? Oh man!" And Albert Collins was looking like this. Wow, man. And they looked at each other and they said, BB said, "Listen to me. When I walk in the studio, have the tape running. If we're just talking, have the tape running. You just record. You run out of tape, I'll buy some more tape."
Yep.
So keep that tape rolling. And he say, "Well, what do you want to do now?" I would say, I don't know. I don't know, man. What do you want to do? I don't know. Now I want you to listen to that record on BB King's Blues Summit and him doing Stormy Monday. So the tape's rolling. BB said, "Well, why don't we do Stormy Monday?" I would say, okay. And then you hear BB say, "Stormy Monday." Bam, bam. You hear BB say, "Stormy Monday." That's why he said that.
Man,
I never will forget that.
man, you got some stories. We are at the halfway point. That is 50 minutes right there, 53 minutes. Right now, we're going to edit that part one like Rhino wanted to cut it into two.
Right.
I'm not going to physically stop the video. I'm just going to give it a little gap there where we can get rid of it, and then we can start in on part two. You want to continue with that side of the story? I would take it that section of the story was over.
No, that's it. That was amazing and terrible at the same time.
Well, let Rhino go do what he's got to do. I'm going to pause this for a second. That way, we're not just, it'll make. Hey, everybody, welcome back. We are at part two of our sit down interview with Tony Coleman, the world famous Tony Coleman, BB King, amongst other blues legends. And we're going to get into a story right now. He told us off camera here. You got to sit in with James Brown, man. Tell us about that.
Well, I always loved James Brown, always, from seeing him on the Ed Sullivan Show growing up as a kid. And my dad, King Coleman, my dad, who was the MC at the Apollo Theater, they call my dad the mashed potato king because he did the mashed potatoes. He was doing it, and James Brown and he worked together and put the dance on record. And James Brown's record company didn't want him to do a dance record. So James Brown said, "Well, hell, I'm going to do it anyway, but I'm going to get King Coleman to come in and do it." And you can look it up on YouTube, James Brown, the mashed potatoes, with King Coleman singing, "Mashed potatoes," ding, ding, and James Brown in the back going, "Yeah, fish fried potatoes, yeah, yeah." James Brown's band. And his drummer was the band leader. And my dad was doing the song. It became like the #1 hit for James Brown. He said, "See, I told you we should have did it. That's why I did it anyway." so when I was with Bobby Blue Bland, we were in Dallas, Texas, playing at the Longhorn Ballroom. And I remember it was the same day, it was on a Monday. You can look it up. I remember everything. It was on a Monday because Ronald Reagan got shot on that Monday. And we was playing, and while we were at the show, James Brown came and he borrowed Willie Nelson's limo because he and Willie Nelson was in town getting some kind of award, but James Brown and his wife came to see Bobby Blue Bland. And I was on the bus hanging out, and the assistant, Bobby's assistant, said, "Hey, TC, Blue told me to come get you. He wants you in the dressing room." And when I go in the dressing room, it's James Brown and his wife, the lady that he met, who used to be his makeup lady. But anyway, I walked in there, and Mr. Brown was sitting there, and Bobby Bland said, "So here, you look at him. Who does that look like?" I told you, you know the drummer. You know his daddy. And James Brown looking at him. Yeah, who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Come on, bro. Tell me, who is it? Look at him. He looks just like his daddy. Son, who is your daddy? I said, Blue said, tell him. I said, King Coleman. King Coleman! Yeah, you look just like him, King. Boy, you look just like your daddy. That's King's son. Hey, man. That's your dad, man. Where's your dad? I said, he's in LA. Yeah, man. Boy, your dad could dance. Couldn't he, Blue? He could dance, man. And dress, he was sharp, man. And the first entertainer I ever seen with a clean-shaven head was King Coleman. It was going on and on and on. And then James Brown said, but I remember one time, because my dad was a disc jockey, and he played records, and he opened the show for James Brown with his band. He said, and Blue, you remember down at the Palms down in Miami, down there in the Palms? Man, I had to kick your daddy's ass one time, man. We got into it, man. And Bobby Blue Bland said, well, I don't know about all that ass kicking stuff. He said, yeah, because I could box. He said, yeah, King could box too now. I don't know about because BB and Bobby Blue Bland told me my dad kind of peppered him up there real good at that time. But they were best of friends. So that was the first time I met him. Then the next time I met him, I was living in Seattle, and he was at the Paramount Theater. I went to the show, hanging out with the musicians and stuff. He had 2 nights, Halloween Eve and Halloween. And the first night, I was standing on the side of the stage, checking the band out. And I was right behind Miss Martha High and the female singers and watching the show. And he kept looking, like trying to figure out, who the hell is that man? Who is that back there? And then after the show, Miss High said, Tony Coleman, Mr. Brown want to see you. Mr. Brown said, who is that man standing behind y'all? Is that your boyfriend? She said, that's King Coleman's son. Oh, tell him to come in here. I want to talk to him. So I went in the dressing room and we were talking, chatting it up and stuff. Then he said, you gonna be here tomorrow night? You gonna be here tomorrow night? I said, yeah, I'll be here. And he was looking me up and down. You gonna be dressed like you working? Because I had on some jeans and a sweater and a jacket. And he said, you gonna be dressed like you working? I'll have a tuxedo on, Mr. Brown. Yeah, all right. So I came back. I was standing up there again, watching the show. And while he was doing the show, he stopped the band. And he pointed at me and then pointed at one of the drummers. And I was like, me? He was like, you? And so Eric Hargrove, the drummer, one of the drummers, Mousy and Eric stood up and he presented the drumsticks. Where's my other stick? He presented the drumsticks to me like that off his forearm like that. And I took them and that's the first time I was so nervous, man. I was like, boom, 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 boom. Oh Lord, I'm getting ready to do my dream to play with James Brown. Boom, boom. I'm thinking all of this and I'm nervous and I'm sitting there. And
he put you on the spot, man.
Yeah, fellas. Yeah, I feel like doing my thing. Yeah, moving, doing it. And while he was saying it, I know what song it was, but I was having a brain fart, and I was like, "Oh Lord, don't point at me. What song is this?" I'm like, "Oh man, what song is this?" Count it off. And when he said, 1, 2, 3, 4, when he did that, I remember 1, 2, 3, 4, pop, 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 get up, get on up, get up. And I was playing. I was on top of it, man. He's like, yeah. All right.
How is that for being put on the spot, man?
Oh man, what you talking about? But I was ready for that. And then he got this little thing. He stopped. The guitar player goes, he goes, yeah, look at it. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, that's King Coleman's son. My friend, King Coleman, the mashed potato man, King Coleman, Tony Coleman. Mr. Coleman, thank you. I go, all right. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Coleman. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Oh, yeah. Get your ass up.
Have you... I wouldn't have slept that night for sure.
So then I stood up and I presented Eric the sticks back. And that was it. That was one of the most exciting moments. I finally got to play with my hero. And then he said to me after the show, yeah, you know my music. You know my music is high. Yeah, you know James Brown. I said, Mr. Brown, I work with BB, Bobby. I know, I know. Now you want to work with James Brown, don't you? I said, yeah, I do. He said, nah, son, you can't work with me. You can't work with me. Nah, you can't work with me. I know it. You like Macy or Fred. You got to have your own band. You can't work with James Brown. But that's a good try, though. And he said, Mr. Coleman, I'm a bad man. I said, you sure are. You bad, Mr. Brown. But Mr. Brown, yes, sir. I'm a bad drummer. He said, yeah, yeah, man.
Man, that is like a dream come true for you, man. I mean, I was living it the whole time you telling that story. I was like, man, I was feeling like I was there, man.
Yeah, man. That was so cool, man.
So, what have you ever got to play with James again?
I did. He came back to Seattle and played at something called the EMP, the Experience Music Project, which originally was going to be the Jimi Hendrix Museum. But Paul Allen, who put that together, helped the Hendrix family get their money back, and it was going to make a museum for Jimi Hendrix, but it didn't work out with the family, and so he just changed the name of the place. And the grand opening was going to be James Brown and every musician alive that ever played with him. And I got to hang out with him that day, and then he had me come up and play. And I remember being in the dressing room with all those musicians that ever played with him: Bobby Bird, Mr. Bobby Bird, Bootsy Collins, Fred Wesley, all of them. And then I got to sit in again that night. That was the only other time I sat in with him.
That to me that would be the ultimate. I mean, this is BB King. I mean, he's got a whole area of Memphis named after him. You know, everybody loves him some BB. But so right now you are doing your own thing. You are doing your own music. You got solo projects that you have worked on.
Yeah. Yes. I'm not interested in being hired to play with anybody unless they pay me a lot of money and they hire me to play, to work with them, not to be, you know, how would you say, a hired guy to just be in the background. I've got 50 some years of playing music. It's my time now to be acknowledged for who I am. You don't call Bernard Purdy, Mr. Purdy, and tell Mr. Purdy how to play. You wouldn't call whoever is famous, any famous drummer that's well known and been in the industry a long time. When you come, you tell them this is what we're playing and you rehearse it, but he plays the way he plays. You don't ask, you wouldn't ask BB King to play like Jimi Hendrix is what I'm saying. So don't call me to just play like another drummer. Call me to let me play your music the way I play it. If you can't respect me and allow me to be me, then I don't want to work with anybody, you know, because I'm not going to play like anybody else. I'm going to play the way I play. And if if the way I play don't suit your needs, then don't call me, and I'm fine with that. Because if I died right now after we talk, I have an amazing life and lived an amazing life, and now I know who I am, and I have my limitations on what I'll do because I've been there, done that. And I love every gig I ever play. I treat it the same, whether it's in your backyard, playing at a party. I'm gonna play it like I'm playing at the Kennedy Center or at Coachella or something. Every gig is the same. My attitude's the same.
Got to be consistent all the way around, man. And
All the way.
and you learned that from that lesson with BB when y'all went down to Mississippi and played in the Delta. You got to give it 100% all the time, you know.
Or don't do it. My grandmother taught me that. Boy, when I tell you to clean the bathroom, I want to be able to drop food on the floor and eat off the floor. It's so clean. You understand me? Here, let me show you. Please scrub that. Clean it. If you're not going to do it, don't do it. If you do it the best of your ability. That's the way I am.
Yep.
When did you decide? When did you start going solo, doing your own thing?
Well, I was doing solo while I was with BB and Bobby Bland and different people. I mean, I was always working on my own stuff because, I didn't just want to be the side man that depend on others. But when BB started singing "The Thrill Is Gone" for a half hour and started singing "You Are My Sunshine, My Only," I go, well, this train is getting ready to stop, so I better be prepared. So I started concentrating on, man, this ain't gonna last much longer. I got to be ready. So that's where I'm at today. And I go to Argentina August 3rd to August 29th, and I'm recording. I got a recording session set up over there on the 20 for 4 days. So I'm doing me now. I do Tony Coleman, and anybody want to hire me, call me. But like I said, I ain't your drummer. I'll be hired to play your music as Tony Coleman.
If,
Well,
if
I ain't got no I ain't got no excitement to be on tour just to be on a tour. I got to be paid properly and I got to be respected for who I am
so
because I'm a respect.
if there was a BB King tribute band, would you do something like that or no?
No, I'm not doing any BB King tributes. I tried to do that when BB died because before BB died, I was at his house a couple of weeks before he died talking to him, and BB personally, in his deathbed, looked at me and said, "Don't let him forget me, son." And I said, "I won't let him forget you." He said, "I know you won't." And I took that to heart because the man was like my father. So when I try to work with people to do a BB King tribute and stuff, everybody is always, they make it about themselves. They
yeah.
want to tell me how to do BB. You cannot tell me how to do BB King. I was with the man half of my lifetime.
You were with them
I
for
know
30
BB
years,
King.
yeah.
I know BB King better than anybody other than maybe his family members. And I know him better than some of them because they weren't even around when I was with him. But today, people doing, I see people doing BB King tribute records. They don't even call me or any of us guys who work with the man, which I think is disrespectful. And I don't like it. And it pisses me off. But you know what? Forget it, man. So I ain't in the BB King business no more. I'll honor him by just doing a great job and acknowledging him on my own terms. I'm
And
I because see BB and Bobby, not only BB King but Bobby Bland, everybody that I know, Albert King, everybody, any musician we saw, no matter who you are or what you do, we respect you and we be inclusive. Come on in. Have a drink, have a bite to eat. Come on. We're good. All right, man. You don't have to be on the same level. We're inclusive, not exclusive. I'm sorry. We're with the pinky up stuff. I'm sorry. We're more higher echelon. Man, get the hell out of here with that crap, man. So I see that in a lot of musicians today that I used to be very, very, very accommodating to when BB was alive. And BB always said, now we're going to have these guys on tour with us. Tony Coleman, I want you to watch out for them and treat them nice, son. Make them feel welcome. And that's what I used to do. And now that BB's gone, those same people, they don't call. They don't want to help me. They don't do nothing. So screw them. I help myself. Thank God I'm in good health, and I can still bam, play. So music business is a bunch of, a lot of it is smoke and mirrors and people with attitudes thinking they're important. Ain't none of us important. None of us.
boom.
None
And
of us are important.
I'm sitting
You
here.
got
You're 70 years old, bro. You are spry as all get out. I mean, you have got more spunk in you than I've seen any 70-year-old ever in my life.
you
Thank you, man. You're my
you
new best friend.
Hey, we're BFFs, all right?
you touched on something really good, Tony. I don't want to get too far past it. Um, and the point for the listeners that I think is so profound is the fact that we want to, and I never had the honor of spending time and hanging out with BB, but or Bobby. But the thing is we don't want him to be forgotten. That's part of why we're all sitting here talking about it right now. He gave the world so much, and he gave the world the best he had to give, and he always made a point to remember where he was from and hold them up. because if it wasn't for those people that supported him in the beginning, there would have never been the opportunity to touch the rest of the world with his heart and his spirit. That being said, you're exactly right. So many of these artists, and I use that term loosely because most of them were made in a laboratory. They weren't made on the road.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
and those who were anointed and appointed, they never get what you're trying to give for free. They don't understand it. And so they make everything about themselves. They think they accomplished something. They're a laboratory experiment that may have sold a bunch of records, and then they go get tossed out when they pass their sale date, when they're no longer seen as valuable or the style changes. They're chunked because they're not real artists. They're engineered puppets, and they sing other people. My point to it was these people are narcissists inherently, and it's not entirely all their fault, because when everyone comes to them, they only want to ask them about themselves. And so they at some point they're always just talking about themselves because that makes other people happy. And eventually you get in that habit, and all you do is talk about yourself. And then eventually you're only thinking about and considering yourself. And those people, yes.
Let me cut you off for a second because I want to put this point in there, Unc. I could give you the list of names who I know personally, from the highest up to the lowest low. And I have asked, they're in my phone, they're in my cell phone, major artists that I met out there with BB King, and they, like I said, they would call me because they knew they could get around management, and I would accommodate them. Certain ones would call and say, "Hey, TC, this is XYZ, man," and I tried to call the office, and they said they don't think can you get me into BB? And I'll get you up to BB. Don't worry about his management. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. BB would be glad to see you. And I made it happen for him. People send magazines to me for BB to sign. He said, "Well, who is this for, son? This is for such and such." "Oh, sure, no problem." I do all this stuff for when BB was live. When BB dead, I called, asked one guy if I could piggyback on the tour. Don't even pay me. Just let me open the show for you in front of your crowd. I get muted, silence. And it's very sad, man. It's very disheartening to be treated that way when you've been treated so good. And I've learned a lot, man. Everybody out here ain't your friend that's smiling in your face. But that's all right, though. That's all right, because God is the only one that's covering Tony Coleman.
Well,
the spirit.
You had the ability to learn under one of the greatest artists that there ever was, and to model yourself after that. So anything else is going to be, the contrast is so,
And all I can say is I'd be more than happy to drop some names on who are some of the greatest people I've become associates with, and they're totally friendly, like Vince Gill. I got a friend named Tom Worth, your friend.
Yes, sir.
Jamie Johnson. Jamie Johnson put me in his band based on Willie Nelson introducing me to him, saying I was BB's drummer. And Jamie Johnson called me and asked me if I would play a gig with him. And I said, "Jamie, I don't know you. I don't know your music." He said, "Well, you know Willie Nelson and you play with BB King. You'll be fine." I said, "Well, when is the gig?" "We're leaving tomorrow night." "Tomorrow night?" "Okay."
Yeah.
He said, "You'll be fine." And I went and did work with Jamie, and I sucked. And Jamie, the audience didn't know how bad I sucked, but I knew. And Jamie, I said to Jamie, "Jamie, I want to apologize the way I played." He said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Man, I was screwing up." He said, "You ever played my music?" I said, "No." He said, "Did you listen to it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, don't listen, just play. We'll be all right." Yeah. I love Jamie Johnson.
That's what I'm talking about.